Hello and welcome to the day ahead. It's Wednesday, September the 28th. I'm Andrew Gagan. Well, global equity markets ended mostly lower overnight in choppy trade on Wall Street. The S&P 500 has plumbed new lows, ending its sixth straight session of losses, having shed 6.5%, its longest losing streak since February 2020, and is now at a two-year low. The Dow is also lower. However, the Nasdaq managed to eke out modest gain, boosted by Tesla and Apple. And bond proxies such as utilities and consumer staples were the biggest losers for the session, while economically sensitive transport-related companies, chip makers and small caps outperformed. The US Federal Reserve will need to raise interest rates to between 4.5% and 4.75%. That's the assessment of Chicago Fed President Charles Evans, who has adopted a more hawkish tone. "I had a sobering assessment that we've got more work ahead," he said. "I'm optimistic that the peak that we've set out is going to be sufficiently restrictive that it could be enough." This is in line with other Fed members who've reiterated the need for monetary policy to remain aggressive, although fellow Fed member James Bullard has acknowledged that rapid interest rate increases have raised the risk of recession. However, he said the US economy remains resilient, and talk about the recession story should be more on a global basis than a US basis, pointing to economic weakness in Europe and China. Those comments helped push the US 10-year Treasury yields up to a 12.5-year high of 3.95%, while the two-year is close to 4.3%. Despite this, US consumer confidence increased in September, buoyed by a strong labour market and falling petrol prices, the index rising to 108 from 103.6 in August. And new orders for core capital goods in the US overshot estimates, new home sales surged, and home prices decelerated to their slowest year-on-year growth since April 2021. Major currencies were weaker against the US dollar, the Aussie down to 65 US cents. Well, the Australian share market is set to open lower this morning. ASX Futures currently off just over 0.5%. In the energy space, Ukraine has accused Russia of causing leaks in two major gas pipelines to Europe in what it described as a terrorist attack. Oil prices have risen as production is cut in the Gulf of Mexico ahead of Hurricane Ian, while expectations of possible supply cuts from OPEC Plus next month has also supported the oil price. Brent crude up more than 2.5% to $86 a barrel. Iron ore futures were slightly lower, and base metal prices were mostly lower, while the gold futures price reversed course, rising marginally. And it's been a volatile session for crypto, with Bitcoin ending lower. On the data cards, retail sales numbers for the month of August, that's ahead for today locally. That is the day ahead. We'll see you again tomorrow.